What if one of California's most notorious serial killers wasn't hiding in the shadows, but working a regular government job, blending into everyday life while carrying out unimaginable crimes? For years, women disappeared from the streets of Riverside, California. Their bodies were later found in remote locations, each crime scene revealing shocking levels of violence. Fear gripped the community as investigators searched for a predator who always seemed to stay one step ahead. When police finally uncovered the truth, the discovery stunned the nation. The killer wasn't a stranger passing through town. He was a county employee trusted to help vulnerable people. This is the chilling story of William Lester Suff, the man known as the Riverside Killer. William Suff was born on August 20, 1950, in California. Long before the murders that made him infamous, he already had a violent criminal past. In 1974, he and his wife were convicted in Texas after the death of their 2-month-old daughter, who investigators determined had suffered severe abuse. Suff served several years in prison before being released and returning to California. After his release, he appeared to rebuild his life. He secured a job with the Riverside County Department of Public Social Services, where he worked in an office assisting programs for struggling families. To those around him, he seemed quiet and ordinary. Few suspected that he was living a horrifying double life. Between 1986 and 1991, at least 12 women were brutally murdered throughout Riverside County. Many of the victims were sex workers or women living in vulnerable circumstances. Suff specifically targeted women he believed would be less likely to attract immediate public attention, allowing him to continue killing for years without being identified. The murders were exceptionally brutal. Victims were sexually assaulted, stabbed repeatedly, and abandoned in isolated areas. Detectives quickly realized they were dealing with a serial killer, but despite years of investigation, the murderer remained unidentified. The breakthrough came through relentless police work and advances in forensic science. Detectives carefully compared evidence collected from multiple crime scenes, including DNA and other physical evidence, eventually linking William Suff to the murders. Investigators also discovered that his job frequently placed him in areas connected to several victims, giving him opportunities to encounter them without raising suspicion. In January 1992, William Suff was arrested. As investigators gathered more evidence, prosecutors built a powerful case connecting him to 12 murders. During the trial, forensic experts presented overwhelming evidence, while investigators described the years of work required to finally uncover the identity of the Riverside Killer. In 1995, a jury found William Suff guilty of 12 counts of first-degree murder. He was sentenced to death, where he remains on California's death row today. The case remains one of California's most disturbing serial murder investigations. It demonstrated how dangerous offenders can hide behind ordinary lives while committing horrific crimes in secret. More importantly, it highlighted the determination of investigators who refused to let the victims be forgotten, and the growing role of forensic science in delivering justice. Behind every headline were real women whose lives were stolen far too soon. They were daughters, sisters, and friends who deserved safety and dignity. Their stories remind us that every victim matters, regardless of their background. William Suff's crimes remain a chilling reminder that evil doesn't always look suspicious. Sometimes, it hides behind a familiar face, an ordinary job, and a seemingly normal life. But even after years of deception, the truth eventually emerged, bringing justice to the victims and exposing one of the darkest chapters in California's criminal history. Imagine living a seemingly ordinary life for decades, while one of America's most haunting unsolved murder mysteries unfolds just miles from your home. Then one day, investigators knock on your door, accusing you of crimes that shocked the nation. That is the story surrounding 𝙤𝙬𝙧𝙀, the man charged in connection with the infamous 𝙤𝙧𝙧 Beach killings, a case that remained unsolved for more than a decade. 𝙤𝙬𝙧𝙀 was born on September 13, 1963, and spent much of his life in New York. He worked as an architect and owned a consulting business in Manhattan. To neighbors and coworkers, he appeared to be an ordinary professional, living a quiet suburban life on Long Island with his family. Few imagined his name would one day dominate headlines around the world. The mystery began in December 2010, when police searching for a missing woman discovered human remains near 𝙤𝙧𝙧 Beach on Long Island. What initially appeared to be a single tragic discovery quickly turned into something far more disturbing. Over the following months, investigators uncovered the remains of multiple victims scattered along Ocean Parkway. Most were women who had worked as escorts and had disappeared after arranging meetings with clients. The investigation became one of the largest homicide cases in New York history. Detectives spent years examining thousands of phone records, interviewing witnesses, analyzing DNA, and reviewing evidence collected from the crime scenes. Despite intense public attention, the case remained unsolved for more than a decade, frustrating investigators and the victims' families alike. Everything changed in 2022 when a newly assembled investigative task force re-examined the evidence using modern forensic techniques and advanced digital analysis. Detectives reviewed cell phone data, financial records, vehicle information, and DNA evidence that had not previously led to a suspect. Their investigation eventually focused on 𝙤𝙧𝙧𝙧. Authorities alleged that cell phone records placed him in areas connected to several victims. Investigators also linked him to a pickup truck that witnesses had described years earlier. Hair evidence recovered from some crime scenes was also examined using updated forensic technology and became part of the prosecution's case. In July 2023, police arrested 𝙤𝙧𝙧𝙧 outside his Manhattan office. He was initially charged with multiple counts of first-degree and second-degree murder connected to several victims whose remains were discovered near 𝙤𝙧𝙧 Beach. Since then, prosecutors have filed additional murder charges as the investigation has continued. 𝙤𝙧𝙧 has pleaded not guilty to all charges. His defense team maintains that he is innocent, and as of today, he has not been convicted. The criminal proceedings are ongoing, and the final outcome will be determined in court. The 𝙤𝙧𝙧 Beach investigation remains active, with authorities continuing to examine evidence and determine whether additional victims or charges may be connected to the case. It has become a powerful example of how advances in forensic science and renewed investigative efforts can breathe new life into cold cases that once seemed impossible to solve. Regardless of the trial's outcome, the 𝙤𝙧𝙧 Beach case is ultimately about the victims and their families, who waited years for answers. Their persistence, combined with advances in technology and the dedication of investigators, transformed one of America's most enduring mysteries into an active criminal prosecution. As the legal process continues, one thing remains certain. Every person accused of a crime is presumed innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. The coming proceedings will determine whether 𝙤𝙧𝙧𝙧 is legally responsible for one of the most notorious serial murder investigations in modern American history.